Today I am trying to raise awareness about sex trafficking in Florida. I'm going to go around and ask people what they know about sex trafficking. What do you know about sex trafficking?
I mean, I always thought sex trafficking was just like, kidnapping. Just you're in a vulnerable place or something like that,
When I took a speech class, there was a person who gave a speech about the whole sex trafficking, but the whole thing I remember is, you kidnap people, you use them, you sell them. As I remember, that they mostly use little girls, but that's all I remember. I don't really know what's behind it.
I don't really know that much. Nobody really talks about it around campus. I really don't know anything about sex trafficking. I've never even really heard of it, to be honest. I don't know how sex and trafficking can be related in any way.
There are 20.9 million people enslaved in the world, with 2.5 million people right here in the United States.
Selling women for sex. The FBI says it is a crime more profitable than selling drugs, and it is happening in big cities and small towns all across America. Tonight, a special MSNBC undercover report takes you inside the shocking but booming business. Here's one woman's heartbreaking story.
With more than 20 million victims of human trafficking around the world. Think about that, more than 20 million. We've got a lot more to do.
You have arrested a Montrealer in connection with a human trafficking ring. 4 women targeted by the ring were from Romania and working in erotic massage parlors right here in Montreal. And Caroline, this is part of a crackdown on Romanian organized crime that began about a year ago.
Sex trafficking tends to make Americans think of far-flung developing countries. Unfortunately, children, women, and men are taken and forced into work against their will all the time right here. Sex trafficking is a modern-day form of slavery involving the illegal trade of human beings for the purpose of sexual exploitation. It is an inhumane act that robs a person of their freedom, and it is a crime.
It is said about 300,000 children are involved in sex slavery in the U.S. right here at this very moment. If the initial manipulation and luring fails, they may go more of a direct manner obtaining sex slave, kidnapping.
In the U.S., there are anywhere from 100,000 to 300,000 minors involved in the commercial sex industry each year. Minor sex trafficking is the commercial sexual abuse of children through buying, selling, or trading their sexual services. Forms of this include prostitution, pornography, stripping, escort services, and other sexual services. 12 years old is the average age of entry into pornography, prostitution, and sex slavery.
But I'm gonna tell you something. If you pay the price, you can get what you want. I can get it for you.
Really?
Now, if you want something really young, that 200, it just costs a little more than that.
Sure.
But how young you talking? Talk to me.
Well, how young do you have?
Well, I don't have nothing younger than 14.
Okay, no, 14 is good.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Well, you're gonna have to add something to that.
Sure.
What you willing to add to that too? Just talk to me.
Well, like I said, this is my first time out.
You know. Now you.
So the girls over there cost 2, is that?
That's the women.
The women.
Now, if I told you 2, and you want something young, and I tell you to add something to it, just tell me, you just pick a figure to that.
Well, I guess, 3?
3. If you do 3, you got it.
See anything suspicious and are worried about the safety of another person, please contact the proper authorities. This can happen to anyone, and it's all around us, even though we may not realize it.
I initiated the traffic stop and contacted the driver, and I found the driver he didn't have proper identification, or any identification for that matter, and had no identification on the vehicle. I removed the driver from the car, placed him in the back seat of my car. I also observed approximately 8 females in the vehicle and several backpacks and articles of different things, and they looked a little nervous. Looked like something was going on. They were hiding something, possibly some prostitution. When my partner got there, I advised her what was going on and what I had observed. And our plan was to, we were going to take each female out of the car and then try and interview them individually.
The greatest risk of being sexually exploited are runaways. The vulnerability of these runaways starts with isolation from family and friends. The child will often see her trafficker as more of a caregiver or boyfriend rather than an abuser, much like you see in domestic abuse victims.
Never confront a possible human trafficker yourself. Always contact the proper authorities for your safety and the victims. To report any signs of human trafficking, call 866-347-2323 or 911. It can happen to anyone. Please watch out for any possible dangers out there.